Hello, it's the Bradley J. Show, and we are live streaming to multi-platforms. I adjusted the lighting on my in my setup here. Lighting is so important. This is pretty good. Before I had three, those work lights that clamp on, just the cheap ones, the hardware store ones, the silver ones, and they were 100 watts pointed up to try to get diffuse lighting, but I'm experimenting, so now one's off to the side with a 15 watt bulb pointing directly at me with a yellow bandana over it to keep the light from being too white. It's pretty good. Pretty good. And also I have to get earbuds and see if they will work with this broadcast setup. Anyway, service in general is so bad. I'd like you to share your bad service nightmare with me. And there are a couple of levels of bad service. There's, something that takes too long, like you stand in line too long for an ice cream cone. But then there's bad service with stuff you need, like the pharmacy. And I'm talking bad. Like, I need this medicine, or you need this medicine, and you cannot get it because of bad service, not because you can't get a prescription, but because the pharmacy has bad service. And my most recent go-around did not involve going and standing in line forever. No, I sort of got smart on that. So I wait and wait. I'm waiting to get a call from the pharmacy that the prescription is ready for days. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, nothing. And so what's the deal? I call the automated line. Oh, yeah, we're working on it. Punch in your birthday, punch in this. Oh, Bradley, we are working on your prescription. Okay, fine. She says, the robot says, call back in an hour. Right, an hour, right. So, an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4. Next day, today, I call and I'm on, same thing. I say, this isn't going anywhere. I have no idea that this is ever going to happen. And the time period that this prescription is good may run out. I have to do it again. This is America. It's supposed to be a commercial success. We're not used to this Russia-like service. So I called again. This time, I'm going to talk to somebody. I'm on hold. On hold. With the music, it keeps saying, your call is important to us, blah, blah, blah. Then something changes. The music changes. So I think, I'm getting close. No. Actually, before that, there are 3 people now in front of you. There are 2 in front of you. Then we get through that stage. The music changes, and it says something else. Then the pharmacist or someone picks up and says, pharmacy, please hold. Doesn't listen, just goes, pharmacy, please hold, click. And then, and then after an eternity, ring, 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 pharmacy, please hold. Same thing again. After an eternity, ring, 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 pharmacy, please hold. On the fourth time, the third or fourth time, as soon as I hear it go click, I go, no, please, help. I didn't say help. I said, no, please. I explained, I just, said, no, please. And then they called back. Or did he call back? No, he didn't call back. But I remained on hold, and then he picked up. Finally, So this is all for a simple prescription. And then he's birthday, all my information goes in the system. Well, I see you are cleared. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know if we have that in stock. Let me go look. Yes, we do have it in stock. We'll let you know when it's ready. All right? So this is a capitalist land of supply and demand. Why? Here's the question. Why is the service so bad? The service is so bad is because we continue to buy the product. We continue to buy the service. We do not complain. We are sheep. We are lazy sheep. And we're led around the nose by big business, and we don't stand up for ourselves. We are lazy. To me, they've gone way over the line of me, and for me anyway, way over the line of me putting up with it. Like I'm going to do what you need to do. It's part of our duty to complain and to vote with our dollar. Trouble is, there's only 2 major pharmacies around here, right? Or are there 3? Or do they all suck? Because you have to get your medicine somewhere, and if they all suck, you might as well stay with the one that you already have that sucks. I don't know. If there is a mail order option, and there used to be, maybe there is, then I would consider that. Some warehouse that just mails, I don't know, but I'm done with this pharmacy. I'm going to try the next one and the next one. And I'm going to tell headquarters, I'm going to email the headquarters. I'm not going to call them and be put on hold. I'm going to email the headquarters with a bold headline that says, I am no longer using your pharmacy because. Now, why is it? In the case of my pharmacy, my particular address at my particular pharmacy, I know because I asked. And when I went there to get my most recent flu shot, they were so far out straight. And I asked the guy, what's going on here? You guys are overworked. Yes, we're overworked. We can't get enough people. Or no, I don't know if they can't get enough people or they won't hire enough people because they won't pay. Perhaps it's because finally businesses can't pay this crappy wage for people and have them still work, and people are saying, heck with that. I don't know. But let's face it, these pharmacy chains are making a lot of money, and they should pay a decent wage, and they should hire enough people so we can get decent service. So I'm calling them out now. And I'm also calling out the airlines. I believe the airlines make a choice about their service culture. They could hire more people. They could train more people. They could pay them more. It's a supply and demand world. You want more people, better people, pay them more. I haven't flown a long time because of the airlines and its service. Getting bumped off airline flights is way more common now because of, I believe, choices the airlines have made. Staffing-wise, culture-wise. That's what Molly says. Here's Molly. She is just beside herself with frustration. Can you see? See in her eyes? See? Those airlines and those pharmacies, right, Molly? And I hate leaving Molly alone, so I got to go to the pharmacy. I can't take the dog in, right? And I don't think, can I? I wish I could. I don't see why you can't. They're not serving food. So that's it for this one. I'm going to do multiple shows today. It's going to be a marathon today. because I got some new clothes. I want to show them off. I have a million hats, a million jackets. This is my pride and joy jacket now. I wonder why this is fuzzy here. Whatever. Oh, and I trim my beard. Straight razor. So that's it. Let's see. Will Lyons, the worst customer service scenario is when you are caught in the middle of two entities. For example, an insurance company not covering a doctor's office charge. When you call either, they point the blame at the other. This can go on for numerous calls. Yeah. So here's my Lufthansa story. I flew on Lufthansa and I bought flight insurance because it was COVID time. And I bought flight insurance, cancel for any reason. Costs a lot, and you only get a portion of it back. But to me, I said, I'm going to do this. And I did cancel because it was Portugal and COVID numbers hadn't gone down to where I wanted them to go. So let me get rid of this big old thing here. Boom. There we go. And in order to collect the insurance benefit, I had to supply the insurance company with information. And I couldn't get it. I called. And finally, like one day, this is a days, I got through and they said, you have to email us for that information. Really? So I emailed, never heard back. And this is supposed to be a quality airline. We'll see. I've had my best luck with JetBlue. I think that's the case with everybody. But, we'll see. I'm thinking of branching out to South America. I'm not thrilled about South America. I really want to go to Jerusalem with Shannon. Not because I'm religious. I'm not unreligious either, but it's the historical thing. And I want to here's my little list of possible destinations. Rome, because Rome is tough to beat. But if you're going to get on a plane, go to the airport and have a connection anyway, you might as well go to Jerusalem. Barcelona, never been. Some people prefer Madrid. Some people prefer Barcelona. Athens, I think I'll take that off the list. And Ireland, Shannon's not been to Ireland, and Shannon is pretty darned Irish. And there are other places that I'd like to go. I did get a tip on going to Colombia. And maybe it's good. I don't know what it's like. I cannot rustle up excitement for South America or Central America. Can you? So do me a favor and share this just as a favor to me, even if it's not relevant. Follow me on the Twitter. Handle is @BradleyJ Show. There's the YouTube travel channel. That's my pride. Subscribe to that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel called The Bradley J. Show. As a favor. Check with my webpage. Do bleep to bloop. What's it say here? Check. Oh, right. Just Google Wix Bradley J and you get all this. Wix Bradley J. Can you do that? Then you get everything. And you get the album. Oh, you can get the link to album, Spotify thing. Hotel Bar, that's my album. Bridgebender is my band. My, meaning I'm in it. There are two people. Future Susie, who is starting to do solo work on her own, which I encourage. She had a good experience making this album. Now she wants to make her own tunes. And that's it. Got to take Molly. O-U-T. If I say out, she gets all excited. You want to go out? Oh, want to go out? Yeah, well, yeah. Okay. She's a good girl. So I put a pillow on my lap when I'm doing my work. Oh, did I tell you? There's one other thing. My radio show, the music radio show on Mixcloud. I do it on Mixcloud. I love Mixcloud. So follow that, will you? Go to Mixcloud and type in Ignore the Machine. Type in Ignore the Machine in Mixcloud. Or Bradley J. Ignore the Machine. Oh, okay. Bye, Molly. So that's it. I'll check in later with another topic. I can actually tell you what the other topic's going to be. I can't remember, but I'm going to, I send myself emails. That's how I do it. Well, I won't. Oh, do I send myself emails? Yeah. Okay. How are we divided in this country? People talk about racial division and political division, but I maintain that there are two other divisions that might be more important. It might be the cause of the perceived other divisions, and that is educated or not. I can certainly see how people who did not go to college band together against those who did and perceive the college people as clueless, snotty, look down your nosy, and how they would vote for people who oppose that kind of thing. And, one thing that I think is important is about cancel culture. I think it is very important that any action be judged according to the context of the time, the rules of the time. If you did if you took some action and did something in 1972, it should be judged. It should not be judged according to the standards of now, which is 50 years later, at all. People who, what's an example of something? Kissed a girl. Went on a date and kissed a girl without her permission. That's what you did back then. You couldn't ask. Nobody asked permission. You had to gauge whether you thought the girl was receptive. And you went to the movies. You're coming home. You're in the car. Whatever. Now, you could get in big trouble for that. Even if you did it back then. Like if you're running for office, they go back and dig up stuff. And the judgment comes down based on the rules of today. Now, today, would you ever? Nope. Would I ever? No. I'm so glad that I don't do any dating anymore. It is a minefield out there, like a legal minefield. Just awful. I can't tell you how glad I am that I'm not young and have my whole life stretching out in front of me in this crap time of no humor, of cancel culture, of having grown up super protected, like growing up now super protected, that your only memory of childhood is going to the soccer games where your mother went and being sad if your parents couldn't go. My God. Being a parent is so onerously difficult now. You're expected to go to your kids' games, every kid's games. Like parents, young parents, you shouldn't have to do that. Sports should not be about your child, your kid, going to impress you at the game. It should be about learning teamwork and learning to work with others that are not in the family, and about losing, by the way. One of the big benefits of sports is losing. But now kids aren't allowed to lose. They don't. And then they get out of school, hit the job market, they're just flummoxed by the world. And, of course, the huge amount of college debt, which brings us back to college. The whole college attitude, the whole paradigm in our country about you need to get a college education to get a job has got to stop. You do not need college education to do most of the things that are out there to do. Most of the jobs out there do not require skills you learn in college or that you have to learn in college at all. You know, the number one thing that I think is required to do most jobs is a decent personality. There's a woman that works at Dunkin' Donuts in Brookline Village who is so spectacularly, not spectacularly outgoing, but just sharp, outgoing, friendly, engaging. If I were a headhunter, I would make sure that she was placed. This is a person that without any, I have no idea if she has a college education, but if she doesn't, would flourish in, probably skyrocket in any, John Hancock, whatever, Google, whatever, because she's so nice. She's able to speak and willing to speak. It must be a weird to be in a corporate environment full of cubicles with people under 30 who never learned how to speak because they text. Speaking is a skill. Assessing the response verbally is a skill, and responding to that is a skill. They don't have that skill. They have this monodimensional, limited method of communicating, which is texting. Sure, is it good for information? Yep. But if that's all you can do, then you are limited. It's one-dimensional. It's words. And it's not even, since it's texted, it's not even the rich use of words. There's no inflection. There's no tone. There's no joy in it. It's just blip. They can do that really well. They can't. As a result, they don't learn the art of speaking. So, a work environment filled with these folks in cubicles, in super corporate environment, where everybody says, reach out to him, reach out. I've always hated that phrase. When that made its way into the radio world, I knew it was over. Why don't you reach out to this program director? Reach out. We need to get rid of that. Reach out. How about talk to that guy? Reach out. Corporate speak. So back to this. I wouldn't want to be a kid now with a job in a corporate, what do you call those, cubicle farm, with just text, and nobody in there with the skills to speak. And again, if someone did have the skills to speak, they would cut through that place like butter, like a hot knife through butter. Excuse me. And so this woman over there at the Dunkin' Donuts, I should get off my lazy butt, contact Dunkin' Donuts headquarters and tell her about this woman. And I want to tell this woman, say, with your skills, your communication skills, and your personality, you can do anything. You should be applying to everywhere. And make sure you get an in-person interview. That's another thing. I could go on and on. Getting a job now requires you to use certain buzzwords. If you don't do those, you're just out of luck. It's harder if you have a personality to have that personality get through. So that's it. I could go on, but I don't want to, comments is another comment. I'll just answer those. Bob DeMassey. My old man story is I was lucky enough at age 12 to go with my friends, no parents, to Harvard Square or Boston. After school on a Saturday or Sunday, we were trusted to take buses and the subway from the suburbs. Today, I doubt this happens. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Today, if you're a parent and you don't know where your kid is at every moment, you are excoriated. Yeah. I have one more comment. Another reason it must be sad to be young now is, and you ask them, they hate this world. They think it sucks for all kinds of reasons, but for some of the reasons they don't even realize. They don't like it. They don't love it. So it's not just me. They will admit being young now is a bummer. But here's another thing. They have no stories. Tell me a story. Just tell me a story about something interesting that happened to you. You're not going to come up with anything. Well, I went to a lot of soccer games. And we won some, and then they pretended we didn't lose the others. And I have 6 stories. I can't tell a lot of them here in this public forum because like bad stuff I did. If I told you, you'd say, "What a moron," or that was you could have gotten in trouble for that, or you could have gotten hurt doing that. There's got to be one that I can tell you. Well, there is. We had snowmobiles, which are super duper 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 dangerous. Super dangerous. But we had to. They're dangerous in all kinds of ways. For example, you can be decapitated easily by barbed wire that you don't see. And that one of the persons in town, who was actually, I think, a state police officer, had a snow machine, and that happened. And he, through his training in the military, in the last minute, saw the wire and gritted his teeth. So it knocked all his teeth out, but it didn't decapitate him, which is good. So my story is, I lived in a town that was 2 miles from a lake. And there was an old dirt road that used to be the road to the lake. It was 2 miles away. It was Bow Lake. It was called the Old Bow Lake Road, strangely enough. And we used to use that road to go over to Bow Lake and ram around on the lake. And in any lake, there's a current. If you drain the lake, you see a lake is just a fat spot in a river, really, or a stream. There was a weak spot in the ice. The short story is the ice broke and the snowmobile started to slide in the water. I was not on it. I was standing beside it. And it was running. And I had the presence of mind to hit the gas as it started to slide in rear end first. And it slowly clawed its way out. Like the ice had broken in a way that there was a little ice hill into the water. And it went and sprayed water and grab out. It didn't stall. It climbed out. Such a close call. I was freaked out, of course. Then I went home. Across the Old Bow Lake Road a little too fast. And this is time number 2, and I almost died within like an hour. It was super exciting, though. After use on those roads by snowmobiles, there'll be gouges in certain places, divots, like at the crest of hills. And this one had one. Right at the crest of a hill, it had a hump, or a depression and then a hump. And I was going probably too fast. I want to hit that depression and then the hump. It went whoop into the air, way into the air, and was flying along in the air. And if it had hit crooked, I would have gone into trees. But it didn't. It hit straight, and it flew probably, I don't know, 20 feet. It seemed like more at the time because there was time to think while in the air. At first I thought, that's it, I'm done. And then I thought, maybe I'm not, this is going straight. Maybe there's hope. And then it landed like a ski jumper just. It landed perfectly without even hardly a jolt. It went, landed a little on the back end, boom, boom. This was a snowmobile, a Skidoo Elan. Do you remember that brand? Well, I turned it off and laid there on the ground just to try to collect myself. And then just went home super slowly. Thanking God. I hope I thanked God. If not, thank you, God, for letting me live that day. But, those are two stories. Here's another fun one that's a little bit related because it's related to vehicles on lakes. God, I've been talking for 31 minutes. I am a true talk show host. I tell you, when I started hosting, talking 5 minutes was scary. Now it's not. John Graham says, can't get podcast to play. Open but won't continue, my friend. Great topic. It's the workforce. So what's that mean to me? Culkeen, my good friend, Chris Culkeen. He is I'm glad Chris Culkeen and John are my friends because, you have a lot of friends pre-pandemic, and then when the pandemic comes, a lot of them, you don't see anybody, and some of the people you're like, wow, I don't know why I hung around with them in the first place. They were a waste of time. But Chris Culkeen is cool and funny, and I always learn something from him. He's a DJ. He's still a professional DJ, making professional dollars doing weddings and events. If you need a real DJ, I would recommend him. You can contact me if you need a DJ for your wedding or something. But anyway, Chris Culkeen, super interesting. You may remember him from BZ. He was a WBZ person. He was on the air. He says, thanks, my man. Hey, Chris, how do people contact you if they need a DJ? And there must be a lot of weddings now because what people like weddings. I don't know. Whatever. If I were going to get married, I'd rather just pay a DJ. Say, I'm not going to have a wedding. Here's a few bucks. I would just go on a trip. Chris Culkeen. I suppose you can Google him. DJ Chris Culkeen. He's on the South Shore somewhere. I guess that's it. But Chris Culkeen, I'm always glad to hear any contact with Chris. Super classy dude. Same with John Graham. And that's it. Wedding season will be starting soon. He must have some stories. Well, he's actually told me some stories about. Oh, I have a DJ story. That Chris will appreciate. I know I've told him this one, but I have not told you this one. Again, kids got no stories, partly because they're young and they haven't lived long enough to accrue stories. Now, Chris is on the North Shore. Why do I always think of you on the South Shore, Chris? He's on the North Shore. North. I'll put that up. North Shore. So here's one of my DJ stories. I generally, like Chris is a DJ for the people, playing the people what they want to hear. And he knows what they want to hear, and he plays it, and they talk, and he plays what they want to hear. I was never that DJ. I played what I wanted to hear. So I never did events. I didn't do weddings or anything. I did clubs and not dance clubs. I did dance clubs, but I did not like doing dance clubs because once people started dancing, you have to play the music that keeps them dancing. And that wasn't I wasn't. It's a stressful thing to try to keep people dancing, right, Chris? And I didn't want to. Once they start dancing, if they sit down, it's crushing. Unless it's something designed. Maybe it's different in a wedding where you get to say, all right, everybody stop dancing because now we're going to do the bouquet throw or whatever you do in weddings. So you can see why I said no when people say, Bradley J, you want to do my wedding? I'm like, whatever you do at weddings, I don't know. So here's my story. I was asked to do a bar mitzvah for I think it was Tom Hamilton's son. I think. He was an Aerosmith person. And I think it was a bar mitzvah, and I think it was his son. But just suffice to say, it was a famous rock person having some event for his son. And the son, the guest of honor, came up to me while I'm DJing and requested a Nine Inch Nails song. I think that's great. Which one? Head Like a Hole. I think that's the one. Okay, no problem. We play that all the time on WBCN, so it never occurred to me that there was a bad word in it. Oh no, maybe it wasn't Head Like a Hole. It was the one where he goes, I'm going to something like an animal. What's that one? It was that one. And so we played the edit at WBCN. It never occurred to me that there was some bad phrase on there. And so I'm like, yeah, sure, kid. I fire it up. And as a DJ, you're looking around for the next song, and you're kind of maybe singing the song that you're playing in your head. And I'm thinking, or whatever this. And in my mind kind of fast forwards to the bad part, and it shocked me. I thought, no, my God. This is going to say something that's going to freak people out in like 20 seconds. And I'm fumbling like crazy. I mean, I could just shut it off, but that's no good. Say, sorry, folks, the young man requested a song which has a very dirty thing coming up, and I had to shut it off. But I tried to get a new song in there instead. So, the moment of truth is coming up, and you gotta understand, there's kids running around with little dresses on, all happy. You know how kids run around at weddings, and there's old people, like, really old people who probably everyone would have completely freaked. I would have been excoriated. Second time I used the word, I know. I would have been legendarily dissed. It would have been a colossal failure. Heck, my whole career could have been, it would have been awful. Awful. And I would have, my only recourse would just be to say, boy, I was stupid. I didn't realize I had the unedited version. Yeah. So just in the nick of time before this phrase comes up, which is a really clear, distinct, would have made everyone go, oh, and look at me. Real clear. I managed to get a new song in there. Oh, quick, do it. Oh my God. Oh, breathing. Oh my God. But then the DJ I was working with, who was the announcer dude, much to his discredit, had to go and say, after a little while, oh boy, that was a close one, Bradley J. You almost did that. He had to point out that I had a close call, which was super duper uncool. Oh, is that it? I'm not sure the name of the song, but you know the phrase I'm talking about. We could do a wedding together. That would be legendary. It kind of would. It would have to be probably not a first wedding, because nobody who knows me from WBCN or WBZ would be getting married for the first time, would they? Well, maybe. Yeah. I tell you what, dude. If you want to be the DJ and have me do whatever you tell me to do, like go there and show up and talk on the microphone and say what you say when you tell me to say it. I can say it well. I'm good on the stage. I'm a good MC for certain things. As a matter of fact, I have now decided to become Boston's MC. I'm not kidding you. I've already started to continue. Now I've started to search out MC gigs for bands that played on BCN. Like, if classic rock bands come to town and they're going to play at Foxborough or Fenway or what MGM or even little venues like a Bowie cover band at City Winery, I want to do that MC. You know why? It's fun, and I forgot how fun it is. You know why? Because it's the access. I've forgotten kind of the rush of being backstage at, say, Great Woods with your pass. It being, yes, sir, right this way, get on the stage, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. All right, you're up. You go out there, the crowd cheers, even though they're not cheering for you. Well, they kind of are a little bit if you do it right. But they're cheering for the band. They're cheering for their anticipated experience. They're cheering to get on going. But it feels good. It's very positive. And the access is super duper. Even at the City Winery, which is very intimate. Just being able to go backstage, watching the band from backstage. I love that. I love that so much. And photographing it and taking video from backstage. I did that at City Winery. And thanks to City Winery for a great time. That reminds me I should probably plug Chachi's event. Why not? I get to do exactly what I want. Actually, I've kind of always gotten to do exactly what I want on the radio, and I'm very fortunate that way. I'll close it out with this. I'll put, my new system has a button to keep the song playing while scrambling the word. Oh, wow. Yeah, Chris got a whole new system. You should definitely hire Chris Coquine for your event, even if you don't have an event yet. You should create an event so that he can be the DJ. I would love to go to an event where he's the DJ. And Wayne Greenside, who's from Dorchester, right? You're a dot rat. But now lives in the Tony town of somewhere else. And that's his dog, who is now a champion, an actual champion dog. That is Quinn. Many times when I DJed at clubs, and there was always someone who would request a song that was completely inappropriate for the audience. And so what you do in that case, what I would do is, of course, you say, I'll try to get to it. Or really, would you have somebody else taking a helper, writing down requests and have them say, I'll give it to the DJ. And another thing that used to happen is you are playing something like the most danceable song on the planet, whatever that is. Maybe at the time it was, you spin me right, you spin me round. You spin me right round like a record, baby. Like. Everyone's this. And people will come up, someone will come and go, hey, can you play something we can dance to? You know, and you want to say, shut up, you moron. But you don't. You don't. That's why I like to do clubs where it wasn't a dance club. I like Bill's Bar, because people were drinking. So you could play Lou Reed, temporary thing. No dancing going on, but it's super cool. Now back to the finale here. Chachi has a thing coming up. He does it every month at City Winery. City Winery is a great place to see stuff like this. It's called Come Together. It's a multimedia Fab Four experience. And this time celebrates the Beatles on their first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. Right here our shoe. The Beatles. But Chachi does it best, and Chachi, you better do your impression. Where our shoe? Does anyone remember Ed Sullivan? Does anyone remember laughter? This is hosted again by super Beatles expert, one of the top world experts in Beatles stuff, and by far the best host. And John Logan, he's a Beatles musician, probably the number one Beatles musician in the world. And he also helps put together the slick presentation. That's the 8th, February 8th. And I have decided to be going. So, if you want something cool to do, it starts early. I think it starts at 7, but the doors are open way earlier than that. If you want to come in and eat first, the food is super good. They have lots of wine, as you might guess by the name City Winery. It would be weird if they didn't have wine. They do. And what was fun is even at the Bowie thing, they even had, at the Bowie cover tribute band, they even had wine with a Bowie label, the little Aladdin Sane face slash thing. And it was a lot of fun. So the next thing to go to, well, a thing to go to coming up at City Winery is Chachi's Come Together thing. If you haven't seen it, a lot of people go. People from BCN go. David Bieber goes. You remember him? He's from FNX and BCN. And just to meet Chachi in person is really worth it. And it's easy to get there. I don't know. I really do plug the heck out of these people, these city winery people. But, you know, they're good people. And it's a great place. February 8th, City Winery. If you need to look it up, it's 80 Beverly Street. But don't think of it that way. Think of it as right by Haymarket Tea Station. Or kind of between Haymarket Tea Station. Just think Haymarket Tea Station. It is 1 block from Haymarket Tea Station. 80 Beverly Streets. I never would have known that was Beverly Street. You can reserve your tickets to ride. Reserve your tickets to ride. Good one. You don't know how lucky you are, people, to have Chachi and John Logan do this. So this has been fun. I expected to be on for 5 minutes. When is it? Culkeen, are you going to go? Do you have anything? What's it say? Do you have anything good music? Do you have anything good music? You have to rephrase that one. When is it? 7 p.m., February 8th. But doors open far earlier. You can call them to make sure, but I know the doors are open by 6 and maybe even 5. Wayne says he plans on going to Chachi's event. I'll see you there. Okay, cool. And it's totally worth the money, people. If money's an issue, I mean, really, it's completely worth the dough. Especially if you're a Beatles person. I'm not. I get the Beatles. I really appreciate the Beatles. I like George's music particularly. I get how awesome they were. I'm not a giant Beatles fan. I'm not a fanatic. But I still enjoy this event because Chachi and John are so good. And they really paint a picture of the Beatles that make you love the Beatles. They have footage that you never see. Rare footage sometimes. They give away prizes. Cool prizes. Chachi, of course, is the king of prizes. Yeah, he's always the prize guy at BCN and wherever else he worked. I really have to go now. I don't want you to get sick of me. People request. Oh, right. People request, do you have any good music? Which is a nasty little, what's the word? Passive-aggressive way of saying your music sucks. Do you have any good music? Yeah. Oh, man. Do you have any comebacks on that? Like the things you would like to say to that person, not the things you say, Chris. What would you like to say to the person who says that to you? Do you have any good music? You can say back, do you have any good blank? It's kind of like what's his name? Rodney Dangerfield says in Caddyshack to the bartender at an event, "Do you know how to make a bull shot?" And the kid says, or the bartender, or a kid, I guess it was a bartender, says, "Do you know how to make a shoe smell?" Oh, that I have to go watch Caddyshack right now. So I got to go. Can I say what I would say? I don't know. You know the rules. I can say what I can say what I would like to say. Probably means can't. Okay. Seriously, I'm gone now. Bye.